I mean, it's black, but there's all kinds of little polka dots.
Space is fake AF. Space is fake AF.
There's more than stars. You can see planets. You can see moons.
You see the gas.
It don't let it. Say the sky was not the limit. We fly to the moon in another second. But we haven't been back since 1972. Destroyed all the papers and blew up the Challenger crew. Except for the twinsies. Space is fake AF. Space is fake AF.
Look out into deep space away from the sun. It's the darkest night you can imagine.
All right, thanks for joining. Today is December the 31st, 2019, last day of the year. Last night we had a long stream about this, and I wanted to continue because someone sent me a link. It was one of my patrons. Let me go ahead and read what they wrote me. So this was from one of my patrons this morning. It came in and said, "Speak, Penguin, or die. Another look at the CRS-19 mission. It appears that the mouse shows up more than once. At 18 minutes and 38 seconds, it runs right to left on a cylindrical tube at the bottom of the rocket." Okay, so CRS-19. So if you didn't see it last night, what happened is this. SpaceX sent a whole lot of mice into space. Here's a few headlines. SpaceX to launch Mighty Mouse and more today. That was December the 5th. SpaceX cargo mission combines Mighty Mice, fires, and beer research. SpaceX genetically enhanced Mighty Mice to the ISS. So they were talking about sending mice to the ISS. Well, strangely enough, or maybe not so strangely, and we went over this last night ad nauseum, there is a mouse on the outside of this SpaceX rocket. There is a mouse on the engine of the CRS rocket. I'm circling it now with my cursor. So you'll see, in fact, let me put it on slow for you. This is at 1/4 speed. And I'm going to point the cursor at where the mouse is going to just magically appear. One of these presumably genetically modified mice to be able to survive this speed, this temperature. Okay, in about 10 more seconds or so. Now it's going to be right here on the bottom right. So there's the cap of the capsule, the top of it. You know, you have these different stages in the launch, so you know where it is. You know this thing is way too cold for a mouse. The conditions are too extreme. Yet there's this point where a mouse walks along the rim of the engine like it has no concern in the world, like it's completely still, which would lead one to assume that, oh, there it is. That is so bad. It would lead you to think that, okay, well, this has got to be in a garage somewhere, and they're just blowing a fan against a rocket made out of Legos, and there's a screen in the background. So again, on the bottom right, and I'm going to zoom in for those of you who are watching, you will not have any plausible deniability. Right where the cursor is pointing, slow motion, you can see the mouse walking across the little rim. I'll replay that for you, and I'll give you the link as well. I mean, this is getting out there, and the cognitive dissonance is off the charts. Okay, here we go. Cursor's pointing right where the mouse is going to make his appearance. There he is. Is this one of the mighty mice? You know, they said they sent mighty mice, genetically enhanced rodents, into space. I mean, is that what we're looking at? SpaceX genetically enhanced mighty mice to the space station. Seems like some type of a joke, doesn't it? Like here, Elon Musk is talking about sending mighty genetically enhanced mice up to the space station, and we happen to catch a mouse on the outside. So here's what we're looking at. So, this is not my footage. I didn't modify it. If you want to see it for yourself, I'm going to play their footage. And the launch is CRS-19, which refers to these these rockets that go up and they refill the space station, but this was 19 out of 20. So they've done these things 19 times. They've sent these things up 19 times. And they're going to do one more. But if this one is fake, what does it say about the rest of them? So let's take a listen and see what Elon Musk himself has to say about these genetically enhanced mice. And this is from CNN.com. December 5th, 2019, Elon Musk's company launched a spacecraft loaded with 5,700 pounds of supplies, including a group of genetically enhanced, quote, mighty mice, to the space station on Thursday. And this is the SpaceX Dragon capsule. Now it says it blazed into orbit atop of Falcon 9 from Kennedy Space Center in Florida on Thursday. And it's supposed to meet the space station on Sunday. So I guess that already happened. Okay, so this is CNN. So it's not likely we're going to get Elon Musk in his actual comment. The CNN, as you know, from every one of their psyops, they're basically ad whores, and they will destroy the integrity of your browser. They will just wreck your computer to make you look at some pointless ads. So we're not going to go there, but let's do this. CRS-19 launch, December the 5th. And this comes straight from NASA. This comes straight from this NASA SpaceX production, a theatrical production. So here we go. SpaceX CRS-19 Falcon 9 live stream, and this is from NASA's own site. And again, those of you who just got here, they talked about sending genetically enhanced mice to the ISS. And what does that mean anyway, genetically enhanced? But look, we talked about this at length last night. We were trying to come up with some plausible explanation. And the best that I could come up with is that maybe you have a communist agent, saboteur, working for SpaceX. And they inserted the mouse in there to discredit Musk right after he announces his plans to go to Mars 2020 because China wants to do it too. So I thought, well, maybe this was, good old-fashioned sabotage. So there's the rocket. Now, it's probably going to be worth looking at just how big it is, how big the engines are, so we can compare those to the mouse. And does the size of the mouse comport with how big the engines are supposed to be? Okay, so here we are watching the launch. I'll give you a link on this one too. We'll have to get the timestamp because this one is not the one I was looking at last night. So there's a few different shots. There it is. Damn, this is so easy. In fact, it looks even clearer on this one than on the footage I was looking at last night. Look, it didn't take me long. You saw that, right? I'm circling the mouse. That didn't take me long. I'm at 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 57 seconds in. I'm going to spam the chat with the link. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do you a quick favor here. I'm going to give you the time-stamped link. There is a mouse on this thing. So this was live from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station. This is proof positive that the space station is fake because SpaceX could not be faking it, and at the same time, NASA not noticing? You think they wouldn't notice that a CGI rocket came up to deliver supplies? At what point does the movie end and the reality begin? For all of you believers in this crap. Okay, so you're going to see the mouse walk along the rim. I'll enlarge it even further. I don't want any of these government shills to deny what we're seeing here. Okay, so I gave you a link to the exact moment that it appears. I'm zooming in as close as I possibly can, and I'm going to also slow it down. But as you can see here, that is clearly a mouse. That is clearly a mighty spacefaring mouse that doesn't need a spacesuit. Okay, here we go again. I'm going to give you one more close-up of this thing. I mean, this is really damning. I don't know. I really don't know if they're going to be able to explain this one away. So the timestamp that I'm giving you is, again, 1 hour and 20 minutes and 57 seconds. So you can see clearly now, there is a mouse walking along the rim of this thing. It looks left, it looks right. You can see its body as it moves around this curve. This is not a smudge, Red's rhetoric. This is not a smudge. Look at that. So fake. What does this say for the Space Force? You know, it's a branch of the military, and they believe space is real and everything. Well, I mean, are they just extremely brainwashed? Are they going to be able to question this? You know, if you're a soldier, look at this thing, and you think you're going to go to outer space and you think it's all real, like, how do you respond to something like this? Thirst for Truth says genetically modified mice that don't need oxygen and wear fireproof boots. Okay, so how big is this? You know, because that mouse is maybe 1/10. If you were to, from tail to nose, if you were to line him up, he's maybe 10% the diameter of this engine here. So I'm kind of curious to see how big they say it is, because this might be a scale model, or that could be a very big rat. But we're not going to let this go. This is the Chinese Year of the Rat. So happy, well, New Year's Eve, everyone. Year of the Rat. And I think this is very fitting. It's Year of the Muskrat. You know, we had hoped that Starman would have been the thing that brought SpaceX down in the minds of the true believers. The Tesla Roadster that went into space. That was so fake that we thought it was a deal breaker. We thought this was Elon Musk just jumped the shark. Well, look, this here cannot be ignored. They can't be ambiguous about it. They can't call it a smudge. I am curious to see what Red's rhetoric is going to say about this thing. We debated the shadow of the space station, which proves the space station can't be up there, and he said it's a smudge. Well, this is a rat. And if Red's rhetoric can't admit that this isn't a smudge, then he's a rat. And he works for who knows who. NASA, I don't know. But anyone who can't look at this thing and say, yeah, that's a rat in outer space on the outside of a rocket is deceived, is a liar, is something, but they're not honest. Someone says, metal rat, look it up. It's Year of the Metal Rat. I haven't heard that. So what's the story here? Is this a joke? Is it an inside joke? Did Elon Musk do this intentionally? Is he being sabotaged? They're sending genetically enhanced mice and some type of I guess it's an experiment. I'm not sure what they're going to do with the mice. I want to see. I should probably look it up now to see what they've done so far. Oh, by the way, last night my minds.com page, which is where I post all my links, it was banned. Infinite Plane Society, and I thought Facebook, I was used to Facebook jail. I thought they were bad. This one says your channel was banned because it was determined to violate our content policy. Anyway, I had to appeal it. Somebody's been spamming my minds.com account to try to shut it down. So just giving you guys an idea, apparently whenever we strike a nerve, they send out a bunch of trolls. And if you follow this channel for long enough, you know that we had more than 5 dozen YouTube channels taken down. One of the reasons why we don't really cater to YouTube anymore. But just letting you know, we triggered somebody. They try to shut us down, which is ridiculous. Not going to happen. Okay, so SpaceX CRS-19 Falcon 9 launch. I mean, what else can we say? I want to move on and discuss a few other things, but this is the end of the year. We do have a show planned for this evening, call-in live streams. Just taking calls on everything, but this is a big deal. We're on the eve of the year of the rat, and a rat may actually bring down this whole thing. And when we talked about this last night, I was kind of thinking this might tie into the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which has to do with mice. And Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy has to do with this idea that the world's about to be destroyed, and it turns out that there are these mice who actually were these pan-dimensional beings. Way more intelligent than we are. Hyper-intelligent, pan-dimensional mice here on Earth. And this was pretty much this movie is one of the things that Elon Musk has been referencing, kind of like off and on. So he put "Don't Panic" in the Tesla Roadster. He talks about a restaurant at the end of the universe. The number 42, Elon Musk has used that number in a number of different ways, which we may get into later, because the number 42 has to do with the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. My point being, there's a bit of meta scripting here. And anytime we see this repeated use of numbers or symbols, it generally is a type of foreshadowing like you would see in a movie. We call it meta scripting because it happens in the news media. It happens across the entertainment media and the fake science, the pseudoscience news media. This meta scripting. And so it looks like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is somehow written into the story. And interestingly enough, it's about the world ending. And so when the car leaves to Mars, it says "Don't panic." Well, "Don't panic" is what the hyper-intelligent mice say. Oh, the world's going to be destroyed. Don't panic. Just get out of here. So the guy goes to Mars in his car, this Tesla Roadster. It says "Don't panic" on the dash. And of course, this was during, this whole idea is based on we have to escape because the planet is going to be destroyed by climate change or whatever. Musk's building this ark to Mars, and they're calling it a Starship, which they say is going to Mars this year, 2020. So I think it's just intriguing that the year that they're ready to take this ark to escape the dying planet, we have this synchronicity or something with mice, definitely tying it into the Hitchhiker's Guide. And there's a few more things about it. Elon Musk, the 42. A few things about this 42 thing. So he's been using this for a while. Let me go ahead and see what we can find here. I know that he had done something with his stocks. He had this Tesla 420 tweet. May be related. But let's look at this here. 42,000 blackout. Anniversary of the blackouts in 1977. Here we go. So on the 42nd anniversary, is your 42, of a New York blackout, there was another blackout. And this second blackout took out 42,000 homes, and it left people from 42nd Street on out of power. So there were all kinds of these 42s thrown into this thing, right? Again, the power going out, darkness, the world ending. That's kind of the theme here. On the 42nd anniversary of when it happened before. And then this is about the time that Elon begins warning us about Apophis 42999. Apophis is the god of chaos, but the asteroid named for Apophis is the one that's said to be on course to strike us in 2029 and wipe out the whole world and plunge us into darkness. So the god of chaos is going to plunge us into darkness on April the 13th, 2029. A Friday the 13th, no less. And here's what's also strange about it. They've been guessing the dates, and even though they've moved the year, 2036, 2029, they've kept the date the 13th. Don't know why. But again, you're escaping the planet because of this. So I'm just calling this as perhaps another example of meta scripting. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Elon Musk's publicity stunts, they have used this as something of a, I don't know if it's an inside joke, but there is a subtext here. So again, I'm going to zoom in. Well, for those of you who just got here, I'm going to give you a link again. This is time-stamped, and this is from NASA spaceflight, Cape Canaveral Air Force Space Station. Here we go. Air Force Station launch. This was the Dragon that was sent up on December 5th to refuel the space station. And what you're looking at here is a mouse on the outside of the damn thing. That is a damn mouse. So what they're going to tell you is, don't believe your eyes, believe what we tell you. That was a smudge, or that's a mirage, or it's standard refraction. What kind of excuses are they going to come up with? Oh, you're mentally ill. Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. Oh, you just think everything's a hoax. Oh, what now? The world's flat. Let me wait for it. There's going to be some epic cognitive dissonance from these NASA fanboys. I'll be checking out their Reddit pages later because they're the ones who defend bubbles in space. In fact, I was going to make some phone calls. There's some people I could probably call about this. Some numbers I have. Not that I want to troll anybody. Does SpaceX have a public phone number? This constitutes cruelty to animals, does it not? Do they have a public relations, someone we can talk to? They're putting live animals on the outside of their spaceships. I mean, that thing's dead. At some point, it didn't make it into the space station. Here we go. Contact SpaceX. I doubt Elon's available. Like, where's PETA? You know what we ought to do? Retweet this stream when you share this and put PETA, as in People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, into your headline. All right, let me go ahead and give SpaceX a call really quick here. See if we can get someone to answer for this.
Your call did not go through. Please try your call again.
Okay, they've already blocked me. No big deal. We'll get to it. So if you just arrived, what we're looking at is a mouse on the outside of the Dragon rocket, taking the space station its latest bit of supplies, and it gives the space station a boost. Look at that. Would you look at that? $777. Yeah, we had some great callers last night. Okay, where's that guy that says, would you look at this? I've got to get that soundbite for this.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. What are you wiping the windows?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. That's nice and shiny.
Well, it's a 78.
Yeah, it's looking good. Looks really good.
Yeah, it's got original paint, too. And
Yeah.
people that owned this thing before me must have put the thing away in its Long Island, New York garage every day of its life.
Yeah, this is the guy. The would you look at that guy?
Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this.
I keep hearing that in my head every time I look at this mouse coming around. I'm like, oh, look at this. This is a huge problem for the richest man on the planet, right? Elon Musk, the richest man on the planet, our savior, Elon be his name, he's going to save us from climate change. Like, this is a big deal. This is the space pope. This is the Martian pope, Elon Musk, busted.
Oh, look at this.
I mean, totally busted. There is a damn mouse. And this can only mean one thing. Like, no, it's not a Chinese communist spy working at JPL or working for Elon Musk who got in close enough to be able to insert a CGI rat into a legitimate live stream to make it look fake, to give me something to talk about. No, this proves to everyone here that this thing's made out of Legos. It's hanging in a garage. There's a screen on the wall. There's a camera. The shadows are consistent. This thing's not moving. There's a light over here. And that is a damn mouse. Commenter says, I thought the Rothschilds were the richest. Yeah, keep reading those guardrail and conspiracy theory books that tell you what to think. You know, we're just talking about what we can see. Look, this is a mouse on the space station. So really, it's cloying these YouTube trolls who do nothing but talk about Israel and Zionism. It's like, get a life. Like, nobody cares about your stale conspiracies that are meant to hide the fact that they're faking everything. And that's what they miss. All of you who are chasing these rabbit trails, like Eric Dubay is too busy getting kicked off YouTube because he can't stop talking about how much he hates Jews. Meanwhile, he doesn't spend any time at all talking about this type of stuff. This is the type of stuff that will bring the whole thing down. As dumb as it sounds, a little mouse could bring down SpaceX. One little mouse could bring down SpaceX. And it may well do it. Would you look at that? Okay, so I want to cut this short. I have 1,000 things I want to talk about, but I don't want to get too far from this thing in itself. I don't want to go too far off topic because I want this video itself, I want this footage to get a lot of hits, and I want people to share it, and I just want it to be focused on this one thing, because that mouse right there could be what we needed. This might even be bigger than a photo of the edge of the world, where cats push things off the edge endlessly. Like, this could be what we've been waiting for. Look at that. You know, forget the moon landing. Forget the fake moon landing. You know, forget the flat earth debate where you can hear Nathan Oakley scream until his face is blue about how you can't have a pressure system without a container, and you hear these other pompous idiots. I mean, it's an orgy of ignorance and it goes nowhere. But this can go somewhere. No debating this, right? SpaceX is doing the whole thing in a garage. That's it. Anyway, this is the last Flat Earth report of the year. We're going into our third year. I appreciate all of you who've been following since the beginning, especially during 2018 when we were pretty much suppressed. Hate to use the word censored, but we adapted. I mean, we weren't censored. We were just unpublished on all these platforms. But look, this is our third year. We've been consistently calling out this crap. We're the longest running podcast on this topic. And unlike the only other Flat Earth podcast that I hear of, we're not going to talk about fake ISS transits like they're real. So if Globebusters, if Jeranism, if Dearth talk about this, ask them about the ISS transit. Because I'll tell you one thing, this mouse looks realer than all of the ISS transits that they pull off and try to tell you are real. All right, I'll see you later. This is MVP.
we are at risk of having a flat Earth report come out of the House Intelligence Committee as to what happened with Russia.
A flat Earth report. That's those are striking terms. A flat Earth report. That's those are striking terms.